everybody. How we doing? Happy Wednesday. Hump day. Now, I was going to do another Woke Wednesday today, but there's a whole bunch of just various breaking news and things that are kind of now. You know what I mean? Sorry, I'm looking at this instead of you because I got things I haven't done yet, as in putting the chat in for other places where this goes. So, but yeah, there's a whole bunch of stuff that's just happening this morning that I'm like, do I talk about stuff that we've been talking about forever? Or do I talk about the most current of current events? So I broke down and said, yeah, current events might be the call of the day. Even though I try to stay away from doing that Twitter thing every day, today it's kind of appropriate. So I'm going to take my reparations. I'm going to listen to the intro or play the intro. And then we'll get into some stuff let's just say there's a whole bunch of stuff that's just breaking. So we'll get into that. And I have a whole section of things that probably won't get to today, but it's going to be stuff that'll be in the description down below in the tab, the link, that thing. And it's all interesting regarding the trucker strike and possible one that's happening here. If I don't get to that, at least you'll be able to read about it in the news link. So on that note, play the intro. Ladies and gentlemen, coming to you live from the Lucky Dog studio in a hidden location somewhere in the upper Midwest of the United States of America, it's a brother making his own way, but with all the wrong opinions. Welcome to the Morning Night Live with your host, yours truly, PDawgKnight. All right, so stop the music. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Morning Night Live. I'm your host, Marty, also known as PDawgKnight on the internet. And welcome to the PDawgKnight channel on this Hump Day Wednesday, the 22nd of February, 2022. It's 2/2/22 today. And I'm kind of at a loss, because I was gonna, other than running late, but there's so much stuff going on in the news this morning. Because I always check Twitter before I come on, and one of the things that happened today really has me a little bit annoyed, and it's not because I don't think the thing that this person said was absolutely stupid, but what's happening does not fit what I believe to be the right way to deal with these kind of things. You know what I'm saying? So, and that is, of course, what's going on with Whoopi Goldberg. If you haven't heard, she's being suspended from The View for saying some stupid shit. Now, it's not like they don't say stupid shit on that show all the time, but this one just has me baffled. And I think if I'm going to be consistent in the way I deal with things and talk about things, I would oppose what's happening to her right now. So we'll get into that. But before we do that, first sponsor of the day is Tall Person. Tall Person, you are the new Streamlabs Superstar sponsor of the day. Thank you very much. He says, Happy Hedgehog Day, everybody. Now, because a Tall Person always happens to know what special day it is in the world, and it happens to be Hedgehog Day. But it's also Groundhog's Day. And apparently Puxatawny Phil is going to see a shadow today, as far as I know. I don't know. Did they do that shit this morning? When did they do that? Or was that yesterday? Groundhog's Day is February 2nd, right? Because I saw a bunch of news about it yesterday. Let me check this out. Groundhog Day 2022. And okay, was that, it was yesterday, right? Or no, it's today. Did they really? Okay, 1 hour ago. 1 hour ago, this report from USA Today. Okay, it's, there we go. Groundhog Day, Puxatawny Phil sees his shadow, meaning we're in for 6 more weeks of winter. Okay, so, yeah, we got, so Groundhog Day, but it's also National Hedgehog Day. Hedgehog Day, that's a weird holiday. Anyway, Yeah, well, groundhog has spoken. It's official. 6 more weeks of winter, according to Punxsutawney Phil, the world's most famous weather prognosticating groundhog. Now, I'm pretty sure this is not the original Punxsutawney Phil, but anyway. The Punxsutawney Groundhog Club's Inner Circle, a group that organizes the event and cares for Phil, brought Punxsutawney Phil out of his den in front of a large crowd as cameras beamed his image around the world. They reported that Phil communicated in groundhogese that he saw a shadow, meaning we'll see at least a month and a half of miserable cold and snow. Ask the people of Texas. That's foreshadowing on my part. Anyway, yippee skippy. Punxsutawney Phil. I almost said the wrong word there. It is Punxsutawney Phil, not with an F. Now, apparently, they have an explainer on Groundhog's Day. Oh my goodness. Wait a minute. I have to see this explainer. There's a link in here. There's a link in there that says, it shows an explainer about Groundhog's Day. Access only. You bastards. Well, apparently that's just for their extra special people that can read that one. Let me see if I can, I wonder if I can finagle something here. Let's see. Let's try this. Let me see if because I have to see this explainer that they actually so Groundhog Day explain. Let's try this. We'll go here, and then we're gonna go like this. Copy. Let's see if I can do this. Maybe, just maybe. Nope. I'm not a robot. Okay, I'm not a robot. Is that really what? Okay. Oh, it is archived. Can you actually see the article? Hell yeah. All right, let's check this out, because this is a question that's been burning in my mind for the longest time. Can a fuzzy rodent predict the weather better than a meteorologist? Wow. They actually wrote this article. Punxsutawney Phil's world's most famous groundhog will be coaxed from his burrow in western Pennsylvania early Wednesday, February 2nd. So they do that. What city do they do this in Pennsylvania? What? Because he's in a specific town, isn't he? Anyway, if you happen to know the answer, you can let me know. Punxsutawney Phil, the world's most famous groundhog, will be coaxed from his burrow in western Pennsylvania early Wednesday, February 2nd. As a pandemic-stressed nation watches to find out whether we'll have an early spring or 6 more weeks of cold and snow. According to legend, if it's sunny and Phil sees a shadow, the scared groundhog returns to his burrow and the USA will endure 6 more weeks of winter. If it's cloudy when the groundhog emerges February 2nd, the critter won't see his shadow and will leave his burrow, meaning winter will soon end and an early start to spring is coming. Now, I got a feeling that this little celebration they do in western Pennsylvania, and believe me, I'm an expert at these kinds of things. I have a feeling that the celebration they have in western Pennsylvania surrounding Punxsutawney Phil is probably just a good excuse to get up and drink Bloody Marys and beer and other stuff in the morning. It's a drinking event because, people out there party. That town, I think they get a lot of people. What's the town? Who knows the town? Punxsutawney? Oh, that's the name of the town? Okay, I got you. Punxsutawney, Pennsylvania. Okay, so thank you for doing that. I think it's just an excuse to get some people to come into that town and start drinking early in the morning, and I'm pretty sure the town shuts down and so on and so forth. So anyway, now, unfortunately, based on weather data, there's no predictive skill for the groundhog during the most recent years of analysis. Somebody took the time to analyze this. According to a report released last year by the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration's National Center for Environmental Information, does that have a acronym. Okay, then again, listen to this. Look, this tells you that they spend way too much on government agencies. The National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration's National Center for Environmental Information in Asheville, North Carolina. On average, over the past 10 years, Phil has gotten it right 50% of the time, the NOAA said in 2021, which is probably a better record than most meteorologists. I'm just saying. Though Groundhog Day is somewhat just some midwinter fun, climate records say that winter probably isn't over. According to NOAA, climatology speaking, the 3 coldest months of the year in the USA are December, January, and February, so winter typically still has a ways to go when the groundhog comes out on February 2nd. Well, thank God that they came up and did an analysis, so I know that Punxsutawney Phil, the groundhog in Punxsutawney, Pennsylvania, does not predict the weather, whether or not the damn rodent can see its shadow or not. Thank goodness we have meteorologists who are probably not even as good as predicting as that stupid rodent. But anyway, let's see. Groundhog began in 1886, marked the first time that Groundhog Day appeared in the newspaper, according to Punxsutawney Groundhog Club. There's a Punxsutawney Groundhog Club. That's more breaking news than I even knew. The following year brought the first trek to Gobbler's Knob. Oh, Gobbler's Knob. There certainly is a joke in there somewhere. Each year since then has been a steady increase in participation of the celebration. That means more people get drunk and wait for Punxsutawney Phil. Groundhog Day origins lie in the ancient European celebration of Candlemas, which is the point midway between winter solstice and spring equinox, or equinox, whichever you prefer. If you drive a Chevy, it's an equinox. But anyway, the exact midpoint of astronomical winter. So anyway, there you go. I'll leave that link open if you want to know about more about Punxsutawney Phil. How about you? All right, let's say good morning to everybody while we stress that it's a good time to hit the like button at this moment, or you can certainly do it later if you so choose. Also, share the stream if you haven't already. Thank you to, let's see, Zach Osborne, Maddie, and Nobody Not Me shared yesterday's. I'm not sure why, but that's okay. I'll take it. I'm more than happy for you to do that. Anyway, wait, let me refresh this, see if there's any new ones. And let's see. No, share the stream, damn it. Share the stream. We want more the merrier. But let's say good morning to everybody right now. First in the chat today, of course, is Advocatus Diablo, who gets the bell because, you know, brother's always on the spot. Also, good morning, Tyre. Tyre, I don't know how it is. Maybe it's just how my notifications go out, because you always tend to be second. And it's okay. Second is good too, because that means you got here right after Advocatus Diablo. And I just, you know, he's just Johnny on the spot, as opposed to Johnny who starts the, whatever that thing is I do to start the stream, the intro. Anyway, also good morning, Mike Savage, Blarg, and Select Boy. Yeah, boy. Also good morning, Maddie. It's sound effects, the sound effects row. Also good morning to Don Julio, Gulf Cedar Biker and Trash Man, Aaron Meredith, K-Shell's in the house. Also, good morning, People's Front of Canada. Zach Osborne, of course, who already shared out the stream. Gulf City Johnny Blaze is in the house. Nice to see you. My favorite Canadian Jaeger ponies in the house. Also, good morning to, is that about everybody? Because there's only like 15. I think I've said 15 names so far. Nobody Not Me is here. How you doing? And, let's see. Am I missing anybody? Tall Person, of course, who's already sponsored the show. If you want to sponsor the show, PDawgKnight.live or SuperChats, which are somewhere over there, I'm sure. And then, or you can do the Venmo or Cashapp thing, but that's only, you know, off hours. You can use PDawgKnight.live or those other two. Also, good morning, Attack Alpaca, Duck Dog, and Renee Mayette's here. Hello, good morning, my friend. And I think that's about everybody. So, You had one of those science panels in my feed and asked him how he can tell what the weather is going to be in 10 years when my weather report is never right. Still waiting. Yeah, they don't know shit. They make it up as they go along. They see a trend. They don't really pay attention to the fact that, the Earth is an elliptical orbit around the sun, and there's times when the sun's closer, there's times that the sun's farther away, and so sometimes when that elliptical orbit, you have the way the Earth turns, sometimes you get a whole period of when it's when the sun is the axis and all that stuff. There's so many things that affect how the weather and currents and climate and whatever changes, and also the fact that, well, my favorite saying, climate change. Ever since the Ice Age, because it's ever since the Ice Age, the climate's been changing forever. What is the correct? Is anyone, by the way, let's say that the current average temperature of the Earth, I'm just going to throw out a number because I don't really have one. Let's say the current average temperature, the average temperature of the Earth over the last 50 years has been, let's say it's been 20 degrees Celsius. 20 degrees Celsius, okay? Is that what the Earth's average temperature is supposed to be? Or what about the other 10 million or 6 million or whatever, how many millions and years the Earth's been around? What's been the average temperature for the entire existence of the Earth? Anybody know? What's the correct temperature of the Earth? Are we just is this a whole millennium, or let's say the last 10,000 years? Is the last 10,000 years an anomaly on the temperature of the Earth? And also the temperature of the Earth has changed in many great ways over the last 10,000 years. Who knows? You know what I'm saying? It's just, I don't know. Oh, good morning, Hig. Hig's in the house. Oh, also, good morning, Jada Clay, Black Hebrew Israelite.
That's right.
And Cigar Jumping Penguin. And now all of a sudden, my mouse is not working again. This really drives me nuts. Come on, mouse, work. There we go. So I don't miss anything. Thank you to Hig of Doom, a.k.a. probably in the home base of Florida, where it's not quite as cold as it is in Minnesota. Thank you for sponsoring the show, and Kig, you are the new Streamlabs Superstar sponsor of the day with almost $10. That's very generous of you, sir. Greetings from the secret evil base in the panhandle of Florida. Puxatawny is actually an elder god. He only has 50% accuracy rate because we stopped offering the blood of firstborn children on February 1st. And Cindy says hi. So there you go. Thank you, Hig. Very greatly appreciated. It's a little dark, but when Cindy says hi, then my day brightens up. So there you go. Good morning, y'all. I only do my science in Kelvin. Screw that Celsius centigrade noise. Well, I don't even know what Kelvin is. So there you go. Okay, I know what it is. I took that. That was in science class a long time ago. The Bible says that the Earth is 4 billion years old. Wait a minute. No, I thought. Is that what the Bible says? I don't know. Okay, here's a question for you, since we decided to do some theology in the chat. All right, so the people who are creationists, and I believe in the principles of the Bible, and I've been a Christian Episcopalian all my life. And I always, there's that story, the story of Genesis, right? And that the earth was created in 7 days. And I got to think about this. So, and you say he says the earth, Black Hebrew Israelite says the earth is 4 billion years old. Now when I read Genesis and they use the terms, then the first day and this and that, blah, blah, blah. It makes you wonder. Ooh, it makes you wonder. What's a day to God? How long is God's day? Because man's day is based on the rotation of the earth as one rotation of its axis, right? But when people say, well, they can't be creationists, they make, and I believe in the science, okay? But I also say, is it really a contradiction with the science that there might be a God whose day could be the rotation of the entire universe. How long would that be? I'm just saying, we could still be in that seventh day that a God would be resting. That's interesting. And you know what's funny? Now, I'm sure that somebody has thought of that before, right? But I've never heard anyone make that argument. I just kind of always wondered about that. What would a God day is 100,000 Earth days, the Bible says so, I think, or I was really high. Well, I don't know if you were really high when you thought of that, but that could be. What is a day to a God? Anyway, a couple more good mornings. Good morning, legit low talker. I said legit low talker. Welcome to the show, and also Jedi Ghost Bears in the house. Nice to see you. And Duck Dog. Did I already say Duck Dog? I think I did. Anyway, Tyler Alexander. If God exists, he has both no concept of linear time and a concept of linear time. Wait, what? He has both no concept of linear time and a concept of linear time. Okay, cool. Yep. I'm just going to say yes, because, all right. Let's talk about, since God exists outside of space-time, how long is a day to God? I'm just saying, it's, the questions can go on forever and ever. Oh, Bill Murray is trending. Fantastic. Oh, and Mary Trump is trending. How cute. I gotta see why Mary Trump is trending. I think I know why, though. Oh my God. I am heartbroken. I just clicked it and now I found out why Mary Trump is trending. Oh, this is so sad. This is so sad. I'm not a fan of Mary Trump because, she's whatever, but, this is really sad. You may have not heard this yet. This is breaking news. Well, it's not, it was actually breaking yesterday. I saw this yesterday, but it seems to be breaking news according to The Hill. Mary Trump, I think she's Donald Trump's niece or something like that. Oh man, this is really sad. Mary Trump is pulling her podcast from Spotify. Oh my God, I feel so awful. Here it is. I'm removing my podcast from Spotify. I know it's not a big deal, but hope it will be part of a growing avalanche. Thank you, Neil Young, Joni Mitchell, Neil Slofgood. See, now here's the funny thing, because a lot of people are saying that, they've been starting naming all these artists that are supposedly pulling their music and whatever from Spotify. And honestly, the only three people who've done it so far are Neil Young, Joni Mitchell, and Neil Slofgood. Neil Slofgood, Bruce Springsteen's former guitar player, and he had a slight solo career. Just, I don't know what he did when he was doing that. But anyway, but now Mary Trump, now that really hits me. That really hits me right here. I don't know. Hopefully she's moved it to somewhere where I can find it, as if I ever looked for it. God. Speaking of which, I don't know if you saw my video on this. I did a small video about Joe Rogan and his podcast. And maybe you've seen it, maybe not. I'll play it for you right now. It's not very long. It's, in fact, it's a very short video. Let's see. Where is it? Here we go. I'll pause this.
Neil Young, the legendary singer-songwriter whose career
Why do you want this
spanned
pause? I tell you, I got to get this mouse fixed. I think it's time to replace it.
Neil Young.
Maybe it just oh my God, stop.
Singer-songwriter whose career.
Maybe I just need a battery. Okay, here we go. Here's my thoughts on Neil Young. I don't know if you've seen this already, but here you go.
Neil Young, the
legendary
singer-songwriter whose career has spanned over 5 decades, recently demanded that Spotify remove Joe Rogan's podcast because they were spreading medical misinformation. He said, it's either Joe Rogan or me. You can't have both. After the young executives at Spotify figured out who the hell Neil Young was, this happened.
All right, there we go. That's some brilliance from the dog. I think probably one of my best videos I've ever made. So anyway, so yes, very, very sad. Mary Trump is removing her podcast from Spotify. Okay, here's the question of the day. Okay, if you knew Mary Trump, niece of Donald John Trump, if you knew she had a podcast, put a 1 in the chat. And if you did not know she had a podcast, put any other number in the chat that does not have a 1 digit in it. Sama, welcome to the show. I'm so happy to see you here. Did I miss anybody else that came in? I did Cycling Boy. Okay. Aaron Meredith, also welcome. So yeah, if you, I know everyone's so concerned about Mary Trump. All right, let's get into what we're really going to talk about today. Now, I'm not sure why Morning Joe is trending. Oh, it's trending because it just trends every morning. Let's start with Whoopi Goldberg, okay? So this morning, Whoopi Goldberg was suspended from The View. The View. I sell you The View. Oh, wait, none of y'all have heard of Mary Trump's podcast? Shocker. Mary Trump hates her uncle, by the way. So, Whoopi Goldberg suspended from The View. While Whoopi has apologized, I've asked her to take time to reflect and learn about the impact of her comments. Read a statement attributed to Kim Godwin, president of ABC News. Hello, Asian Research Directorate. How you doing? Mary, Mary, why you bugging? Yes, the great song, Take Off on a... Now, wasn't it Simon and Garfunkel who basically did the song that song was inspired by Run DMC? I think so. Mary, Mary. Anyway, yes, the great Run DMC. So anyway, she was suspended for comments she made about the Holocaust. Now, I have a take on this, but if you don't know what I'm talking about, we'll take the variety. Oh, redirected back to your article in 12 seconds. Why does it need 12 seconds to be? I'm going to skip the ad. Oh, because there was supposed to be an ad there. Didn't show up. So here, Whoopi Goldberg suspended from The View for Holocaust remarks. Whoopi Goldberg is, okay, I hate it when the title of your article is the same as the first line in your article. Anyway, the Whoopi Goldberg has been suspended from The View for 2 weeks after facing wide criticism for her remarks that the Holocaust was not about race. Goldberg's suspension was announced in a statement released by ABC News Public Relations, God, I'm sounding like Joe Biden, Public Relations on Tuesday night. Effective immediately, I'm suspending Whoopi Goldberg for 2 weeks for her wrong and hurtful comments, reads a statement attributed to Kim Godwin, president at ABC News. While Whoopi has apologized, I've asked her to take time to reflect and learn about the impact of her comments. The entire ABC's news organization stands in solidarity with our Jewish colleagues, friends, families, and communities. Was it the monkeys? No. I did not know that. Now, Goldberg's comments on The View reached the highest level decision makers at Disney. Variety can confirm, according to sources, Peter Rice and chairman of Disney General Entertainment Content was consulted on the public fallout for Goldberg. Goldberg's comments emerged during conversation on Monday's broadcast of The View, in which the co-hosts discussed a Tennessee school board's ban of Mouse, a nonfiction graphic novel about cartoonist Art Spiegelman's father's experience surviving the Holocaust. Let's be truthful about it, because The Holocaust isn't about race, Goldberg said on Monday's episode. It's not about race. It's about man's inhumanity to man. Now, by the way, Jimmy from Philly, what's up, my brother? Nice to see your name in my chat. I'm sorry, I did not say that correctly. Jimmy from Philly, wiped, is thank you for sponsoring the show. I appreciate you. With a deuce who says, good morning, P-Dawg and chat. Well, good morning to you, my friend. I hope you are well. Miss seeing you on YouTube. I hope, maybe it's just I haven't been watching a lot of YouTube lately. It's more than, I'm not sure if you're doing your show, but I'm so glad to see your name up here. So anyway, so yeah, she said it's not about race. Now this is kind of weird because the other day when I saw this, I saw the clip from the View, but the way it was described on YouTube, not on YouTube, on the way it was described on Twitter, and it was really weird because let me see if I can find this. Maybe they still have this on Twitter. Because they described it as the other harpies from the View, made this, caused this huge storm. And if you saw the clip, there was no storm. They made it sound like that the women on the View they had this big, long, drawn out fight about about her saying this, and they hardly said anything to her. Let's see if they got if I can find a clip from it. Did we even watch this clip the other day? Oh, I see it. I'm seeing lots of. Oh, here it is. Here it is. Hang on a second. Here. So this description is so wrong. Before I do that real quick, thank you, Maddie, for sponsoring the show. And with the big bullet, Maddie through Streamlabs says, yeah, she reflected. Then she wrote a limp wrist, half-hearted apology, and then doubled down on her bull when she was on Colbert. So yeah, she reflected and then still thought she was right. So if you don't know what we're talking about, now, see, the description here on this tweet, and this is how Twitter described it, right? Sparks fly as the View panel confronts Whoopi after she says the Holocaust is not about race. No, it's not about race. Well, they considered Jews a different race, Joy Behar says, but it's about white supremacy. It's about going after Jews and gypsies, Anna Navarro. So I'm going to ask you, we're going to watch this clip together, and do you think this seems anything like sparks flying? This I mean, again, this is how not only this Nicholas Fondacaro, who's Nicholas Fondacaro? Well, he's the editor for Newsbusters too. But I'm not. Look, sparks fly. This is how Twitter also described this. Let me ask you if this looks like sparks flying to you.
Well, also, if you're going to do this, then let's be truthful about it, because the Holocaust isn't about race. No. It's not about race.
No. Did you hear the first response to that? The first response to that, whoever said it, I don't even know who said it. As soon as she said this, listen to the first thing you hear out of someone's mouth. They're not on camera at the time.
Then let's be truthful about it, because the Holocaust isn't about race. No.
Did you catch that? Somebody agreed with her. One of the panelists agreed with her. Now, clearly it was whoever the other woman of melanin enhancement is.
No. It's not about race.
It's about a different race.
But it's not about race. It's not about race.
What is it about?
Are sparks flying? Now, Joy does have her Karen glasses on, and the Karen look, because she's like, "What you talk about, Whoopi?" But anyway,
it's about man's inhumanity to man.
Hang on, real quick. Thank you, Black Hebrew Israelite, for sponsoring the show today. Who said, did you see Tasha Campbell from Martin got caught in a lie? Someone tried to kidnap her. Oh my God. No, is it Tasha? Isn't it Tisha Campbell? Anyway, someone tried to kidnap her. Who would want a post-wall black woman? Oh my God.
That's right.
I had to figure what the hell that meant. A post-wall black woman. Oh my God. P.S. Fuck you, Jimmy from Philly of the Wipe, or Jimmy of the Wiped. Okay, I don't know why you're swearing at Jimmy from Philly, but that's something personal between y'all. I just read it because it was there. Jimmy, don't take any offense to me reading what Black Hebrew Israelite said.
That's right.
So anyway, yeah, I'm still Tisha Campbell. I know who Tisha Campbell is from Martin. But I don't know if she's post-wall. Tisha Campbell's a cute lady. Maybe I haven't seen her lately. I don't know. It is Tisha Campbell.
Too mad.
But listen to these sparks flying. The sparks fly. That's how Twitter described it, and that's how, I don't know, the other dude. Do you see any sparks flying here? They're like they're barely putting up a fight against Whoopi.
That's what it's about.
But it's about white supremacy. It's about
but it's not about
ideal race.
But these are two white groups of people.
White on white crime, she says. Interesting.
We have to black people.
Too old to breed. Look. Look. I gotta see what. She always looked weird to me anyway. She had the eyes that are way too far apart, but she was cute. But anyway.
See them as white,
but you're missing the point. You're missing the point. The minute you turn it into...
Do you see any hard pushback against her? She's actually pushing harder against anyone who doesn't agree with her. But I'm not seeing any sparks flying. This ain't like when they got in arguments with Meghan McCain, right? Right?
To race.
Thank you. Thank you, Jimmy from Philly, for sponsoring the show, who says, Hebrews are white.
That's right.
Okay, I got you. That's funny. But yeah, and so Whoopi sees this as white and white. It's weird because I think the Germans considered Jews a whole other race. I wonder if I can get in trouble for having this conversation. Anyway,
goes down this alley. Let's talk about
Where's
it for
the
what
sparks
it is.
Flying?
It's how people treat each other. It's a problem.
Is it? Is that what the Holocaust was about? Was that the Holocaust? Oh my God, woman.
Black or white? Because black, white, Jews, everybody eats each other. So.
Oh, I got it. I know what she's saying here. Let me paraphrase. Let me paraphrase for Whoopi Goldberg right now. Listen up. Here, let me just make sure you can follow this carefully. I'm going to paraphrase for Whoopi Goldberg. All lives matter. All right, let's see the rest of these sparks fly, because I'm waiting for the sparks to fly. To fly.
If you're
yeah, Jedi goes fair. Oh, yeah, the Holocaust was just treating people badly, yo.
Comfortable, if you hear about mouse, should you be worried? Should your child say, oh my God, I wonder if that's me? No, that's not what they're going to say.
Okay, now I'm going to get it straight. Probably some sound straight for the music.
They're going to say, I don't want to be like that.
Okay, so now they...
I want to be cool.
Yeah.
Looks like someone played the music to end the segment.
Most kids,
they're like, let's get the segment over. Turn this segment off. Somebody turn this segment off. That's what they're doing. That's what the producers are yelling in the background. They're playing the music to turn this segment off. We can't have this segment going because the people upstairs are really mad at us. Oh my God, I could make a terrible, terrible joke about... Nope, can't do it. Not going to do it. I am not going to be tempted because I'm not.
Comparing vaccine cards to the yellow stars.
The producer's like, get this shit off our screen. Shut up.
Frank went through. Yeah. So it is necessary for kids to learn about the Holocaust.
They're not. No one. Did she say anything about not learning about the Holocaust? I'm sorry. Anyway.
about man's inhumanity to man,
They got that.
however it exposes itself. I have to cut you off.
I just want to say that now.
I have to cut you off because they're playing the music because they want us to shut the fuck up. That's why. So anyway, I don't know about that being sparks flying. Now let's talk. But anyway, so that's what's happening. But let's talk about this whole. So anyway, let me continue this article. The Holocaust was about Nazis. Okay, so they just talk about what she said later Monday. Okay, apologized for remarks on social media. Let's see. And then she offered an on-air apology on Tuesday's show. Is that here? Let's see if she this apologies here. Here's the on-air apology. It is indeed about race. Do they have a clip? Did they leave a clip of the show? Here we go. Here's her. So she did an on-air apology, right? But then she went on Colbert and said some other shit. So okay, here it is. So yesterday on our show, I misspoke. Really? You misspoke for about, how long did you misspoke here there, Whoopi? You misspoke for about a minute and a half. I misspoke. Misspoke is when you get one word out of context. What the hell are you talking about? So here's her apology. So yesterday on our show, Goldberg said at the top of the Tuesday show, I tweeted about it. I misspoke. And then I tweeted about it last night, but I kind of what you hear. Wait, I kind of want you to hear it from me directly. I said something I feel responsibility for not leaving unexamined because my words upset so many people, which was never my intention. And I understand why now. And for that, I am deeply grateful because the information I got was really helpful and helped me understand some different things. She still doesn't think that, she thinks Jews and Germans were just a bunch of white people. She does believe that, trust me. And while discussing how a Tennessee school board unanimously voted to remove a graphic novel about the Holocaust, I said that the Holocaust wasn't about race, and it was instead about man's humanity to man. But indeed, it is indeed about race because Hitler and the Nazis considered the Jews to be an inferior race. Hey, well, at least somebody taught her some history there. No words. Now, words matter, and mine are no exception. I read my comments as I said, and I stand corrected. I also stand with the Jewish people as they know, and as you know, because I've always done that. So she admitted she said some stupid shit, okay? Well, then she introduced Anti-Defamation League CEO Jonathan Greenblatt, The View's first guest of the day, who was invited on to help continue this very important conversation after speaking out about Goldberg's comments on Twitter on Monday. She first apologized, blah, 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 blah. But then she went on Colbert. And now it's kind of a weird thing. So thank you, Jimmy from Philly. Whoopi was right. It wasn't about race. Well, it was to Hitler. It was to him. And you know what? The Semites are technically a race, Now, granted, the Semites include more than just the Jews from that area of the world, because actually, technically, the Palestinians, whatever that encompasses to some people, are also Semites. But it depends on how you determine what race is. But I don't, to the guy who was rounded up 6 million of them and tried to remove them from the face of the earth, it was a race to him. So I don't know. Anyway, but then she went on Colbert. How long is this? Did they do the whole segment? I hope not. No, they did the whole damn segment. I don't need that. So then she goes on Colbert, and then she kind of minces words, and she said some shit about, when you talk about being racist, I was saying you can't call this racism. This was evil. This was based on the skin. You couldn't tell who was Jewish. Well, somehow they found a way. They had to delve deeply to figure it out. My point is, they had to do the work. If the Klan is coming down the street and I'm standing with a Jewish friend and neither one of, I'm going to run. but if my friend decides not to run, they'll get passed by most times because you can't tell who is Jewish. It's not something people say, oh, that person's Jewish. Okay, I get what her point was. Hello, Check Your Logic and Kiever Dam. Nice to see you. No, most Palestinians are not Semites. Most Jewish people are not Semites. You're correct, because there are a lot of the religion of Judaism traveled around the world just like other religions do, and so for example, you can't say that all like wherever any religion, you can't say all Buddhists are from China or whatever. You know what I mean? So I get point well taken, Sama. I got you. So I, again, in that region, that's a very complicated problem that I don't talk about a lot. So, because I don't know enough about it, but, Semites people speak Arabic, Aramaic, and Hebrew. Okay. But generally the original Semites are all from the same region and, split off into different, factions, so to speak. So anyway, yeah, because technically you're also anti-Semitic if you're anti-Palestinian, which you should not be anti-anybody. So anyway, let me get back to this. But she kind of doubled down on what she was saying, and so now here's the part that bugs me though. About this. Why are they suspending her from The View? Okay, we talk a lot about what people are allowed to say and what they're not allowed to say. And he got kicked out of 109 countries. Not for nothing. Okay. We are all... This is a discussion I'm not going to have in my thing, but why are they suspending her? And I know you're going to hear people talk about, oh, well, what about those assholes in Florida and this and that and none of that. I don't like it when people get suspended for something they say, unless it's something that unless they're saying something evil. You know what I mean? Illegal, not evil. Evil can be illegal too. But unless they're summoning up a riot or summoning something up that is completely and utterly illegal, I don't see any reason why they would suspend her. And I see this also for people who get suspended for, let's say, things like misinformation. They want to suspend people off of Twitter for misinformation. Are they going to suspend Whoopi Goldberg off of Twitter and off of YouTube and off of, other, are they going to suspend her for what she said from getting half a PayPal or whatever? Are they going to suspend her from all these platforms like they've done with other people who've said things that other people find offensive? I don't care if it was offensive. I would rather do what they did. And if there are people who disagree with her, fine, bring them on the show. Like they brought the person on from the ADL or whatever, who that person was. And just fight through it, So she's suspended for offending the masses. See, and I don't agree with suspending her. Take your lumps and move on. And if people want to argue with you, whatever, they're not going to lose any viewership over this. Let's put it that way. They're not. Good morning, T-Ball, by the way. Somehow I usually lurk, but as a Palestinian, I had to say something. Whoopi did nothing wrong. In this instance, thank you for all you do. Well, thank you, Sama. I appreciate you very much. And I hope I'm pronouncing your name right. I keep saying Sama. If that's close, I appreciate it. She gave an opinion that people don't agree with. And I don't agree with her opinion. But should you be suspended for saying something that is offensive to some people? And I think it's a terrible precedent. Okay? If it destroys the View's ratings and whatnot, and I maybe, but I'd just rather hear people talk about what she said and work through it. So it's it's quite annoying to me. So anyway, let's move on. Other news today. This is kind of an all news day. Someone just mentioned in the chat, the Washington football team, my former favorite team when I was a kid, when they were still the Redskins, which apparently is a racial slur, although the term wasn't created by white people. The Washington football team finally has a new name. I can't believe it. Now, I am a little annoyed with the name they chose, just a tiny bit, because I got a prediction. I have a prediction about the new name. The Washington football team, formerly known as the Washington Redskins, has a new name. They are now the Washington Commanders. They are the Commanders. And on Wednesday, the Washington football team officially announced its new team name, the Washington Commanders, the 90-year-old football franchise, which came under scrutiny for its use of a slur for Native Americans. As its former name announced their search for the new name in July 2020, according to USA Today. Keep it here for the latest news and reaction to the announcement. So now it's the Washington Commanders. Hello, T-Ball, by the way. I welcome to the show. The Washington Commanders, they have their, I don't know what the logo is. The logo is just, they have a W on their helmet. And let's see if there's anything here. Well, let's see. The Commanders. Here's this the announcement? Oh, no. Let's turn that music down. Oh my goodness, hang on a second. This is the Huffington Post video for it. Let's just put this on the screen real quick, full screen here. Washington, after an 18-month process, the Washington football team has a new name, the Washington Commanders. We are the, let's hang on. Actually, I'll put this sound on this. I don't care if I get this video thing. Why isn't it playing? Oh, I turned it down. Duh.
We are
The Commanders.
Yes, there we go. We are the Commanders. I watched the original. Now, this cracks me up. Washington originally dropped the racist name, the Redskins, back in May of 2021. Now, not everyone in the Native American community was offended by this name. In fact, there were many Native Americans who came to the games in full Native American garb. But, hello, Teresa the Kid, by the way. And there's a small problem with this name that I will bring to your attention in a moment. So they dropped the name back in May 2021. At the time, the NFL team also dropped Native American imagery from its logo and merchandise. Now, it's interesting because this particular imagery was not the offensive part to most Native Americans, just the name. At least the ones who complained about it. Because there were protests from Native Americans. Their Native Americans said, hey, don't change that shit. At least they're honoring us, right? But anyway. Major retailers, including Amazon, Walmart, and Target, said they were pulling the team's items off if the name change didn't occur. Well, there you go. So I guess the market decided this name change, but I'm telling you, there's a problem with this name, and I'm going to tell you what it's going to be. FedEx Corporation, a key sponsor of the team, had also asked the franchise to change its name. For years, people protested the name, which many found Dan Snyder, the main owner, had resisted pressure to rename the team something less offensive.
Whether it's the owners or people at the league, most people understand what the team name means. They look at it, as we all do, as honor, respect.
Mm-hmm. In addition to the name, the team is under fire over the NFL's investigation into a toxic workplace within the organization. Now that's hilarious because this toxic workplace where they came up during the heaviest fighting over the name. Just coincidence, just a quinky dink. The House Oversight Committee will have a roundtable where they will hear from women sharing their experiences with the team. Yeah, I guess, you're in a sport with a bunch of jocks who are running around, probably don't have a high opinion of women, or maybe just, they see a hottie in the office and they're like, she look good. But anyway, and that's the HuffPost. That's the HuffPost. Whatchamacallit, their take on the new Washington Redskins name. Now, let me tell you about the problem with this new name, though. First of all, by the way, I was fully interested in naming the team. If they're going to change the name, I believe they should have changed it, because one of the names that came up that I thought was a good idea was the Red Tails, right? You still have the red in the name. You have the, and it would be over, honoring the great Tuskegee Airmen who, they escorted bombers in World War II, never lost a bomber that they were, protecting. These great airmen. It would have been great, especially Washington, D.C., a city with a large black population. I thought that would be a great name, and it would be a great honor for that. And also, which brings me to the reason I think the Commanders may somehow be a name that is still going to be protested. Not by people who like the team. They don't really give a shit. But remember, on Woke Wednesday, we have to think like woke people do, okay? Woke people. Think about the name Commanders. Think about the name Commanders, okay? Commander is a very, very militaristic name. Oh my goodness. And it just reminds you of people from the Pentagon and this and that and this warmongers. And I could see protests from the leftists complaining about the fact that this has a very warlike name, a very, just one of those names. These are commanders. Yeah, this is so militaristic, blah, 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 blah. Now, note what I said earlier, though. I said I thought the best name would be the Red Tails. Now, that would still be the same thing, right? It'd be honoring these, warriors, this and that, and military, yada, yada, yada. But guess why it would avoid the same scrutiny as the name Commander? Because if you criticize the Red Tail, well, that would be... Okay, I'm just being silly. That's breaking news on the Redskins. All right. Also trending right now is, it's going to be cold in Texas again. Apparently they're preparing for a freeze. There's going to be a big winter storm, right? Big winter storm in Texas, and people are reminiscing on the idea. There's a Texas freeze is trending because there's people out there saying, because in Texas it's going to get cold, and the governor said something that people are a little bit annoyed with. And let me see if I can find the governor's statement. Greg, okay, where the hell is it? Yeah, lots of people just bitched about Texas. He said something about people preparing for, people preparing for the winter cold that's about to come through. And Texas governor said something to the effect that he could not guarantee power would stay on throughout Texas this week, just 2 months after he promised the lights would stay on this winter. Well, and this is the Texas Tribune. Texas Tribune is basically the Texas version of the Washington Post. And so they have this article because there's going to be a winter storm in Texas, which is still, even if it happens 2 years in a row, it's still pretty rare. Of course, it's also more proof of global warming. Anyway, the Texas leader warns of treacherous driving conditions and possible local power outages as freezing weather approaches. He said he could not guarantee power would stay on throughout Texas this week, just 2 months after he promised the lights would stay on this winter. So the Texas Tribune, who hates anything that's right of Mao, says with freezing weather expected to hit a large portion of Texas this week, Governor Greg Abbott on Tuesday tried to assure Texans that the state is better prepared this year than last, but said there still could be local power outages throughout the state. You know what's funny about that? Anywhere in the country you go, there are chances of local power outages. If you get line freeze, water freezing on the lines and things like that, and you lose some things. So he said there'd be possible local power outages. Either ice on power lines could cause power line to go down, or it could be ice on trees that cause a tree to fall on power lines. Now that's completely sensible. Those of us who live in these types of climates understand that is a possibility every winter. But Texans who are not used to living in cold, and you get a half inch of snow, and you shut down the city for a week, wouldn't understand that. So it's a sensible thing to say. So anyways, this week's cold front could be the first significant test of the state's main power grid since last February's freeze left millions of Texans without power for days in sub-freezing temperatures. Hundreds of people died because of that storm. Yeah, a natural disaster that is not expected in Texas. Hello, nobody, not me. How are you? So, but anyway, so that's trending, and everyone's chirping about how this Texas governor, she should be immediately fired. He's a terrible human being and whatever. And here's Midland Christian Republicans ways to get through the freeze. I got my generator that cost $7,000. The hell with everybody else. Aw, I'm sure you are just fun at parties. This Sarah, whatever her name is. Oh, and Keith Olbermann has chimed in. 9 hours ago. Keith Olbermann says, simplicity itself. Governor Abbott must be forced to resign immediately. Fuck Keith Olbermann. He's an asshole. So anyway, and this person, Katie, as I watch it snowfall in Colorado, I know my power will stay on. My gas will stay on. I am warm and safe. Yeah, you know what the funny thing is? Most people in Texas generally don't have a lot of like gas heaters and things like that. Like I know at least I'm trying to think of my friend Joe who lives down in, where's he live? What's that? Frisco. He lives in Frisco, Texas. Now he's from Chicago, and I don't know if he has a gas heat in his house or what. But any Texans in here? What kind of heat do you have? How many have gas heat? A lot of Texans have electric heat because it's not used that much. Anyway, the people of Texas are told to prepare for an ice storm this evening. That's rich. We have to prepare, but our energy grid doesn't. Texas Freeze should remind us all that the GOP doesn't care about the citizens of Texas. Abbott and his cronies will be safe and warm. Look, did the GOP build the power grid? Is that something they always, that's something they always prepare for in Texas? I mean, it's like, and I thought for sure, didn't we just pass some gigantic infrastructure bill? Shouldn't they? Texas, Buster's Outlaws, answer me this. Because I know you don't get as much use out of your home heat as most people. You have a gas generator. Okay, what part of Texas? I'm pretty sure most Texans have electric heat because it's not used as much as you up north. Where I live, natural gas is king. Okay, we will have heat. Even if our electricity goes out, we'll have heat because I have an gas heater that runs on backup battery power should the electricity go down. Okay, that's because I live in freaking Minnesota where it's cold as fuck. All right, I'm pretty sure down in Florida, but a lot of Florida people, you don't even have basements in some of these states. Like in Florida, I don't think people have basements. That's because of the marshy weather or not. We have basements in Minnesota too. You know what I mean? A lot of houses in Texas are slabs or maybe sometimes a crawl space, but it's flat and dusty in Texas. People don't have basements and don't have furnaces, gas furnaces in their basements. So anyway, but lots of people bitched about Texas Governor Greg Abbott. All right, let's move on. I'm sticking to news right now. Sticking to news because there's other news that's interesting. Now, more football. Now we talked about the Washington Redskins. Now let's talk about the Miami Dolphins. Now I normally don't talk a lot about sports. Oh, good morning, Wikipedia snippet. How you doing? Texas had the big power outage during winter, and the people got rather chilly. Yes, they did. So, privileged motherfuckers build a fire, assets. What? The thing is, I don't think a lot of Texans don't necessarily have. Well, maybe they have fireplaces in their house. I know a lot of Texans have fire pits because they like to make that. They like to cook up some brisket. And that's slow roll. But anyway, thank you, Tyre Alexander. Oh, we have another sponsor. Let me get some sponsor music real quick. Oh, what did I do with that? What do I do with my sponsor music? Here, hang on a second. Let me get some sponsor music out here. We'll do sponsor music today. Will be we'll do some R&B for sponsor music today. How's that sound? Let's go to R&B. We'll go old school R&B. No vocals though, because I need to be able to talk over it. And there's not a whole lot of these. Okay. Old school R&B. Here we go. Here's our commercial for the day. Let's see. Oh, this is, let's use some romantic music because, wait, what the hell did I do here? Okay, here we go. Let's use this one. Oh, wait. Hang on. Let me start this over. We need special music for the commercial today. Thank you, Tyre Alexander. Today's sponsor is CNN. We are announcing our new show, Whose Lie Is It Anyway? Don Lemon will host with Stelter Maddow and new CNN contributor Michael Avenatti, live from his prison cell. Remember, the stories are made up and points don't matter. Thank you there, Tyre Alexander, for that wonderful commercial. Also, thank you, Black Hebrew Israelite.
That's right.
For sponsoring the show one more time, who says the Redskins join a long list of name changes to remove colored people from products we buy to be replaced by white titles.
That's right.
The commander, not like naming it after numerous military commanders that removed the natives off the lands.
That's right.
Oh, I'm glad I didn't take a sip before I read that one. Well done, my friends Tyre and Black Hebrew Israelite. All right, where was I? We were Miami. We're in Miami. So back to some football. I know it's not really football news. It's more kind of social news. Did I do this? Hang on a second. What is this? That's the View. I forgot about the View. Let me find out this real quick. I just got a couple more notes here. Real quick, just a second. Okay, knocked off some stuff so far. After being on stage, we're going to record episode 1 of Farming the Apocalypse in 7 days. Oh, cool! Go check out Maddie's channel at the House Geek channel. Is it the House Geek channel? I don't know. Maddie, you can put a link to whatever you're doing here after stream. So just FYI. All right, more football news, and this is more social news than it is about football. But former Miami Dolphins coach Brian Flores is suing the NFL, alleges racism in hiring practices. In a lengthy lawsuit, Brian Flores has filed a class action lawsuit against the NFL and 3 teams, the Dolphins, the Broncos, and the Giants, alleging they have engaged in racist,
resist, we must,
and discriminatory practices against black coaches. Allegations in the suit include Dolphins owner Stephen Ross offering to pay Flores an extra $100,000 per loss during the 2019 season, and Ross trying to get him to recruit a prominent quarterback, quote unquote, who was under contract to another team, violating tampering rules. The lawsuit also says the Giants scheduled a fake interview with Flores last week to comply with the Rooney Rule. Flores also said the Broncos put him through a similar interview 3 years ago with no intention of considering him for the job. The NFL said in a statement that Flores' claims are without merit, while all 3 franchises denied the allegations and defended their hiring process in separate statements. Now, let's look up the Rooney Rule, okay, and explain it here. If you're not familiar with the Rooney Rule. Now, the reason this is more than just football news. This is kind of social engineering rules, okay? So here's the Rooney Rule right here, NFL operations. The Rooney Rule, why isn't it scrolling? It's because my scroller thing didn't work that well. The Rooney Rule encourages hiring practices okay. You can name this in a different way in a moment. The Rooney Rule is encourages hiring practices to foster and provide opportunity to diverse leadership throughout the NFL. The Rooney Rule is one part of the NFL's effort to develop deep, sustainable talent pool in all levels of the organization. The policy promotes diverse leadership among NFL clubs to ensure that promising candidates have the opportunity to prove they have the necessary skills and qualifications to excel. Now, Donatello Slapafellow, how you doing? Nice to see you back. And Buster's Outlaws, who I didn't say hi to, but I saw you there. So through hiring best practices, the Rooney Rule aims to increase the number of minorities hired in head coach, general manager, and executive positions. This diversity enriches the game and creates a more effective quality organization from top to bottom. Does it now? Let's see. I don't want to know you can look at the evolution if you want to, but I want to go down here. In recent, good God, this is just, well, let's read this. Do I have time? I'm running out of time. The NFL adopted the Rooney Rule in 2003 based on recommendations made by the league's Workplace Diversity Committee. It was named after then chairman of the committee, Dan Rooney, the late owner of the Pittsburgh Steelers. The committee's initial focus was on the historically low number of minorities in head coaching positions. The policy originally required every team with a head coaching vacancy to interview at least one or more diverse candidates before making a new hire. Now, over the years, the Rooney Rule has expanded to include a greater number of positions across the NFL clubs. In 2009, the policy was amended to include general manager jobs and equivalent front office positions, requiring each team to interview a minimum of 2 external minority candidates. In November 2020, the team's owner approved a proposal rewarding teams who developed minority talent that went on to become GMs or head coaches around the league. If a team lost a minority executive or coach to another team, that team would receive a third-round compensatory pick for 2 years. If a team lost both a coach and a personnel member, it would receive a third-round compensatory pick for 3 years. So basically, they decided that they're going to do some affirmative action in the NFL, which is fine. There's some great coaches, minority coaches, but it's a weird way to do it, saying you must interview a black person or a minority for every open position, right? Now, what is this guy, Mr. Flores, the team from the Miami Dolphins, suing for? He's saying that the Giants scheduled a fake interview. Did he interview or not? And then saying also the Broncos did a fake interview with no intention of considering for the job. Why, perchance, might a team interview somebody if they are required to? They knew who they want. So let's say a team had a coach's opening, right? The team had an opening for a coach, and they already knew, hey, we know exactly who we want for this position. We know we've got someone that we want to hire, but we also have to comply with the Rooney Rule. So what's going to happen? Well, candidates of melanin-enhanced capabilities are required to be interviewed, so you interview somebody, even though you already know we want this guy, this white fellow, because we already decided if we lose this coach, we want that coach. But the Rooney Rule requires them to interview minorities. So I can understand why some of these teams might have done that. Former Dolphins head coach Brian Flores addressed shortly after the news Brian Flores' lawsuit broke, the NFL issued a statement saying they will defend against these claims and that the accusations are without merit versus we will investigate these claims vigorously. What? Is that Jennifer Lane from ESPN tweets that? Here's their statement. Click. There we go. Their statement. The NFL and our clubs are deeply committed to ensuring equitable employment practices and continue to make progress in providing equitable opportunities throughout our organizations. Diversity is the core of everything we do, and there are few issues in which our clubs and our eternal leadership team spend more time. We will defend against these claims, which are without merit. Damn. Now that's interesting, because it's the NFL that requires teams to interview a minority candidate. This is one of the greatest catch-22 lawsuits I think I've ever seen. It's fascinating. The fact that it's Black History Month and ESPN is highlighting all the incidents of racial discrimination in sports as I'm being bombarded with hate mail, insensitive messages about Brian Flores' lawsuit saga is so ironic. Who is Omar Kelly? Is he, part-time superhero, full-time NFL columnist for the South Florida Sun-Sentinel. No, it's during Black History Month. Oh my God. Brian Flores' response to the Broncos' refute of his claim of a sham interview in 2019. Ideal in truth. The Broncos called his allegations baseless and disparaging. Flores has filed suit against the NFL for racial discrimination. So let's see. It's racial discrimination if you force teams to hire or to interview somebody, so they interview you, but then it's racist if they don't interview you. Is that what I don't know I have no idea how to react to this. It just makes very little sense to me. You're damned if you do and you're damned if you don't. So, hey, let's just get rid of the Rooney Rule then. And people can interview whoever the hell they want. Oh, no, but then you're going to have a racial discrimination suit if they don't interview you. What? I don't know what to do. Of course, the Washington Post, I'm sure, is going to be on Brian Flores' side. Brian Flores is done pretending, and the NFL is losing what? Let's see what this article says. I just want to look at the title of the article. This is the Washington Compost, of course. Brian Flores is done pretending, and the NFL is losing control. I don't know. I'm not sure what they're supposed to do. I'm really not. I'm just not sure what they're supposed to do. You know what I mean? I guess, and is that article's in the archive. I'll let it pop up for y'all. Anyway, let's get. Who knows? I don't get it. Hey, Maddie, thank you for sponsoring the show. And Maddie, you know what? Maddie, you are the new Streamlabs Superstar sponsor of the day. Thank you very much. Oh, another commercial. Hang on. Let me get some proper music here. This show is sponsored by Whiners International. Yes, the people that coach the women's soccer team to cry foul and Flores crying are now open to helping anyone who wishes to cry victim for profit. Whiners International, helping people be victims. Thank you, Maddie. That's an awesome commercial. I appreciate it. And that is absolutely fantastic. All right. So I appreciate you, of course, as always. All right. Boy, that's a tough one. You know, the NFL is required to interview brothers, and then the brothers get interviewed, and even though the team probably already knew who they wanted to pick, but what else would they do if they're required to do it? I don't know. Anyway, let's see what else is here. What the hell is that? Holy shit! I don't know what that is. I got it. That's an article. So the last couple items I have breaking news. Apparently, the situation is under control. There's a situation in Guinea-Bissau. Guinea-Bissau? I've never heard of Guinea-Bissau, but Guinea-Bissau. Apparently, there's a coup attempt in Guinea-Bissau, and it's big news on the old Twitters, I guess. Guinea-Bissau President Umaro Sissoko Embalou has arrived survived an attempted coup on Tuesday and says the situation is under control after almost 5 hours of gunfire. The president stated the attempt came as politicians met and confirmed multiple security force members have been killed, and multiple security force members have been killed, according to Al Jazeera and Reuters. The African Union has condemned the attempted coup, along with UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres, who expressed deep concern for the events since the country's independence from Portugal in 1974. Guinea-Bissau has been hit with 9 previous coup attempts or attempted coups, or 9 previous coups. They've had 9 coups and or coup attempts, according to Reuters. So insurrection, good Lord. Okay. And if you know where, okay, be honest, if you've heard of the country Guinea-Bissau, put a 1 in the chat. And also, just last but not least, since I'm already over time, the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame nominees have been named as of this morning. Let's see, Dolly Parton, Duran Duran, and Eminem top a varied lineup. Let's see who they got here as I'm trying to scroll, but my very untrusty mouse is not helping me at all. Okay, here's the names that have been nominated. Let's see. Duran Duran, Eminem, Pat Benatar. Pat Benatar. That's something from my childhood there. Beck. And, wait, here we go. Joining that colorful quartet of Duran Duran, Eminem, Pat Benatar, and Beck are Dolly Parton, Lionel Richie, Carly Simon, Dionne Warwick, Eurythmics. Oh my God. I am fucking old. Because it's like, that means, look, to be in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, you have to have been in the business for 25 years or more. And it reminds me that some of these artists are from my childhood, and it's been way longer. But also, like Eminem, I mean, has he been in business? I guess he has been in the music business 25 years. I'm sorry. Here's the nominees: Dolly Parton, wait a minute, total: Duran Duran, Eminem, Pat Benatar, Beck, Dolly Parton, Lionel Richie, Carly Simon, Dionne Warwick, Eurythmics, A Tribe Called Quest, Kate Bush, Devo, correct that whip. Judas Priest. I should have sang a song for maybe one of these, but I don't know all of them. Fela Kuti, MC5, New York Dolls, and Rage Against the Machine, who has changed their whole persona to fuck you, I'll do whatever they tell me. Fuck you, I'll do whatever they tell me. Fuck you, I'll do whatever they tell me. That's their whole new mantra because, you know, now it's the Biden administration and you change whether or not you're a rebel or not. Now, why major musicians are selling their catalogs for millions. Duran Duran marks 40 years with a new album. They have a new album out. It's called Future Past. We want to lift people's spirits. And the eligibility requirement for, here's the thing. Eligibility requirement to call for an artist or band to have released its first commercial recording at least 25 years prior to the year of the nomination. Several artists on the 2022 roll call are back after garnering nominations last year. Warwick, Rage Against the Machine, New York Dolls, Kuti, and Devo and Bush. Though the Rock and Hall has often been rebuked for its relative lack of female inductees, the 2021 list, which included Tina Turner, the Go-Go's, and Carole King, and this year's candidates represent the top nominee classes for women in the past 30 years. Well, there you go. Let's have some diversity and whatever. And then Mikey Guyton to sing the national anthem at the 22. Okay, that's just more news. But anyway, so there's your Rock and Roll Hall of Fame candidates for 2022. I would think, boy, Duran Duran, really? Now, I'm first of all, I'm surprised that Dionne Warwick isn't already in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. I'm surprised Lionel Richie isn't. Judas Priest, maybe. I mean, you got another thing coming, you know what I mean? And Eurythmics, I could see maybe, well, Annie Lennox as a solo artist at Eurythmics, because Eurythmics, you know, really, I guess they had 3 decent albums, but Annie Lennox by herself. Now, I can completely understand her being in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Rage Against the Machine has been here 25 years. Holy shit. Because there ain't a shit ton of female rockers. Well, you know, the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame doesn't necessarily require you to be a rocker. But yeah, I would think that like it's kind of a musical Hall of Fame because there's a lot of pop acts in the hall. There are a lot of there are even a few country acts in the hall, but mostly rock pop style music. And there are plenty of now. The difference is the longevity. Is Madonna in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame? I'd be surprised if she wasn't. I would be surprised. It's Pat Benatar. I could see making it. But I am shocked that Dionne Warwick is not in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Don't knock Dave and Annie. I'm not knocking Dave and Annie. I thought their music was fantastic. Annie Lennox is a amazing talent. But as a group, the idea that they would be in the Rock. Annie Lennox's career certainly spanned over that time as a solo act. I'm not sure their short stint in the mid-'80s is Hall of Fame worthy. It's great music. Love their music. Just, I don't know if it's Hall worthy. Lionel Richie and Loverboy earlier. Still a great song. Oh, Lionel Richie's Loverboy. And Lionel Richie, just for his career as a solo artist and as part of the Commodores and his writing credits, you know, he was in. He and Michael Jackson wrote "We Are the World." I mean, come on. So anyway, we can, if you happen to be watched part of this later, or if you happen to pop back in here, put in the comment section what artist in that group you think should absolutely make the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame and which ones wouldn't. That's what you can do, because I got to close up shop. So anyway, and by the way, the articles that I had open today all are referring to the truck convoy, Freedom Convoy in Canada, that looks like there might be one in the United States coming here soon. Convoy to DC 2022 looks like. So I just have several articles regarding that, and a couple articles regarding different various Coup restrictions. So those will be in the tabs, plus all the videos and links to all the tweets and whatnot that I talked about today will be in the description down below. I'll put those in the one link in the second paragraph as the outro is playing. So there you go. That's it, though. I got to go. Otherwise, I'm going to be late to my other gig. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining me today on the Morning Night Live. If you haven't done so already, hit that like button, because there's not as many likes as people that were here. And also, if you would like to share this stream before, during, and after the stream, I would greatly appreciate it. F Madonna. Oh, you'd F Madonna. You would after. I thought you said F Madonna. And then I looked again and you said I'd F Madonna. I'm not a fan of Madonna, but I think she's Rock and Roll Hall of Fame worthy. That's all I meant. Okay, done. Gotta go. Thanks for being here. If you put a comment in the comment section if you're watching on replay, so I know you're here. Share the stream before, during, after. You can sponsor the show 24 hours a day at PDawgKnight.live or the other two options down below. Otherwise, thanks for the super chat. Thanks for today's sponsors of the show. Let me get all the way down to the bottom here. Tall Person Hig, Jimmy from Philly, Black Hebrew Israelite, and Sama and Tyre Alexander, and our superstar donor of the day. That would be Maddie. Thank you for sponsoring the show. That's it. I gotta go. My name is PDawgKnight, and I'm out of here. Bye. Hey, this is PDawgKnight, and thank you for watching today on the PDawgKnight channel. If you have an observation or remark you'd like to make about this video or my channel, I absolutely welcome you to write it in the comment section down below. I really look forward to hearing from you. And before you go, if you like what you saw but you're not already subscribed, please make sure you hit the subscribe button and definitely click that bell that pops up afterwards so you'll be notified when I post new videos or when we go live.
I broadcast my live show, The Morning Night Live, Monday through Friday at 10 o'clock Eastern, 9 o'clock Central. A special thank you to all the supporters of this channel who share our videos on social media and who make donations through Streamlabs, YouTube, Venmo, and Cashapp, which are all linked in the description down below. Thanks again, and until next time, I'm PDawgKnight, and I'm out of here.